as a business owner or sales leadership or a salesperson, do you trust all of your data going through a closed platform like Facebook that once you get used to using their platform, they could just stick on a charge for every message that you send from a enterprise organization as opposed to an individual? They could do that overnight and just ravage your budget in an instant.
I mean, one is, first of all, I'm not concerned about that part. You can always just flip everybody over in your organization to use a certain app. In other words, Facebook starts charging, I'm like, screw you. I'm going to use something else. There's not a lot of sunk cost in there, to a point. Now, the flip side of that, the real issue is this goes against the actual grain of what's going on in the market. When we look at customer journey analytics, and that pulls content from all these different sources using AI to find some insight. If it's going through, let's say, WhatsApp, because I have WhatsApp, right? Especially for international calls. How do I get that information into my CRM? If I have Salesforce, I'm using Einstein. How do I get it in there to analyze those conversations? So that's a problem. I can't. It kind of goes against the trend, right? Which is, how do we create these reservoirs of content, in this case messaging, and then be able to pull from that data to provide us insight and guide us in our sales process? So this makes no sense to me from that standpoint.
I'm incredibly disappointed in you, Victor.
It's not the first time, but go ahead.
I'm terribly disappointed in you, mate. So this was before Christmas. It was a solo episode when I did it. Facebook have acquired a CRM company, a smallish company, but it was still $50 million or whatever it was. So I think, and I covered this on the show then. Clearly you didn't listen to it, so I'm devastated that you didn't keep up with the This Week in Sales that week, Victor.
Okay.
But with that at one side, I think Facebook is trying to build their own closed walled garden ecosystem with communication on Facebook. So we'll go through the buying journey. Advertising on Facebook, which is incredibly targeted. Facebook then have their own marketplace, which is becoming more and more sophisticated, and it's less kind of random people selling old pairs of shoes like eBay, and it's more and more becoming a platform where you can buy an Xbox or whatever from. It's becoming less local marketplace and more of a Amazon-like ecosystem. That's what I can see it slowly pushing towards that way. They've bought this CRM company, so it's not just applicable for mom and pops selling random things on the marketplace. If they get the CRM integrated into it, then they can clearly, a business can use it as a platform as opposed to just individuals. And if you've got all the messaging, you can do customer success, you can do follow-up on the back end of it as well. Facebook could become this, maybe it's more B2C than B2B right now, but they could become this full stack platform to market, sell, and then follow up. And so some of this would make sense from that perspective.
Yeah, I guess your point is well taken. But what I was trying to highlight, whether it's Facebook or WhatsApp, if I can't get access to that content, all these conversations, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. Not surprising that Facebook would go in that direction, but I think it's going to be a self-limiting market for them. It is going to be B2C. The marketplace, I think, is quite exciting. I think the marketplace in Facebook is actually quite exciting. It's almost like going to a flea market, a bazaar, right? So I think there's that aspect of it that they're going to own. But I don't see them moving into the B2B space because it's just tainted with B2C stank, as they say, right? Most people would just rather move over to LinkedIn. But again, why would you use an external app if you can't get the content? Well, that's my bottom line. Why?
Because you've got no choice. Because no one wants to install your shitty app, and so you've got to use the apps that people do want to install. Don't overcomplicate this. I'm not going to install an app for BMW to speak to their customer service. Right. They can text me, though. They can text me when my appointment is and my oil change or whatever it is.
Gotcha. But but the thing is, even that text, I want to grab that text information as a company. I don't want to go through a third-party service. I'm with you. I don't want to use WhatsApp. And if I can't use my own app, then maybe I'll just use texting and I can capture that, or email. Anyway, I'm moving on. Let's move on, Will.